is well. Y'all feeling good? I hope so. It's Friday. Thank God for being Friday. I shall not complain. I'm here in the land of living. I'm going to go ahead and get started at 3:05. I pray you all are well. I hope you all are thriving. I hope you all are feeling good, feeling encouraged. I know right now we're struggling being in the house, but I have a good word to deliver to you all today about just managing and coping and making sure that we're still thriving and still making sure that we're trying to tap into our purpose, even though we're not in the most realistic situations right now. So today, the title of the message is Finding Peace in Times of Restlessness. So I'm going to talk about why I titled this message this, because I feel like it's definitely applicable to what's going on. Right now, this week was a very humbling week for me. I think after now, it's been a month and being in quarantine. And I said, wow, whoever knew that I could be able to stay in the house or be in one secluded area for a whole month. So now I'm at a point where I'm getting a little restless. I'm getting, eager to want to go outside. I'm wanting to, live normal life like we all are ready to just, be out of social distancing and being able to be with our friends, with our family the way that we really want to. So, I said, you know what, instead of me wanting to have the eagerness to go outside, I need to put the same eager spirit in trying to learn God and learned that there's a bigger message throughout this whole month process. So I came to the realization that I need to get more of an actual discipline, a more of a routine, more of an actual strict, consistent pace that I'm going with every day. So that means waking up, thanking God that I woke up this morning, going into my devotional, reading my Bible, praying to God, asking God to give me specific things that I need to continue throughout my day. Now, I'm not going to say that this whole week has been the easiest thing, but I must say that it's been good though. Like, despite of everything that is going on, I have to continue to tell myself I shall not complain. I will not be worried about me not going outside. I will try not to worry that I miss my friends. I won't try to worry that I miss my boyfriend. I'm not going to ponder and actually dwell on those things. So this week I was reading a devotional called Take No Thought, and it's by Vance K. Jackson. So we talked about what worrying was. So in the devotional, they describe worrying as worshiping a problem which becomes a burden. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I worshiping, or what have I actually began to dwell on where I feel as though it is now becoming a burden? And it was the virus, because now I'm not able to fully tap into God because I'm so concerned about what's going on with this virus. So as I was thinking to myself, I say, well, you know what? It seems like I'm doing a lot of worrying and I'm doing a lot of thinking about things that I cannot control. So the first day we read about, so it says the first day was, a worry is a care that we haven't casted to God. So I said, okay, now a word that I've casted that I haven't casted to God will definitely be me being in the house and being in a place of worrying about what is the next day I'm going to be able to get out. So the verse that spoke to me was 1 Peter 5 verses 7. It's plan in faith, execute in wisdom, and choose not to worry. So I need to have faith that God will deliver us from this virus, and we won't be here forever. And then I need to execute in wisdom. So I need to continuously feed my spirit, feed my mind, feed my soul, and tell myself that this is something that I can't actually dwell on, or I can't try to figure out. I just need God to be God and get me through this tough time and not worry about when is the next time. So then on day 2, we talked about how we cannot operate in fear. So the devotional also said that the foundation of worry is fear, which is described as perverted faith. So with me having perverted faith, I can't operate in faith. Well, I can't operate in fear if I know that I have faith. And I remember that I was telling my grandmother the same thing. I can't operate in faith knowing that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above. That can't happen. So I need to now cast my cares onto him and understand that I can't operate in fear. So I'm going to read 2 Corinthians 5 verses 7. So let me go ahead and turn to that. That is the New Testament. Oh, oh, 2 Corinthians 5, 7. Okay. For we live by believing and not seeing. So that speaks volumes to me, because it sounds like God is telling us we're not going to be able to see all that he's doing in his realm. We're not going to be able to see it, but we have to continue to believe it. We have to continue to step out on faith and know that God is such a good God and he will lead us to the promised land, but we just have to be patient. And in patience, we have to have faith. And to have faith, we have to have prayer. And with the prayer, we have to be steadfast in our prayers so that we can continue to be the church. We are the church, essentially. So as the church, we have to stand strong. There has to be a strong foundation, not only for ourselves, but in our word, in our faith, because we know right now this is something that we can't control. So I'm like, okay, God, I can't control this. You are in control, and I have to believe it before it actually comes to pass. So a resolution for that would be 2 Timothy verses 1 through 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power and love and self-discipline. So that's telling me that God, he hasn't placed a spirit of fear within me. I have to now give a spirit. I have a spirit of power. God has given us power. He's giving us love, and he's given us self-discipline. So those 3 specific areas we need to make sure that we are solid and firm in, because it seems that he's given us all the tools that we need to be able to press beyond the mark and be able to withstand this virus. But we just have to know that he didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave us power, love, and self-discipline. So what does that mean for you? Do you have power? Do you have love? Do you have self-discipline? And I think about self-discipline as me having my routine, me having my consistency with God, so that he can continue to listen to me, that he can continue to mold me, that he can continue for me to walk into my destiny and do what I'm supposed to do. So this is the most important time to do something like this. So then day 3. So it talks about how we need to stay in the present and we need to let God be in control. I think that's a big one for me, because as most of us know, we like to be in control. We like to know what's going on, how it's going on, when it's going on. And some of us, we have a control issue. So with this virus right now, we have no control of this. We don't know when we'll be able to come out of self-quarantining. We don't know when we'll be able to go back to the church house. We just don't know anything. But I'm here to tell you all that you have to be still and know God is God. So the verse that I'm going to come from will be Matthew 11 verses 28, and I'm gonna go from the MSG version. I like that. The MSG sound like our seasoning for God. Like, God is seasoning up the Bible. He's giving us stuff that's good for our soul. Come on, because the MSG will break it down now. So it says, are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Boom! That's the resolution right there. I like God did basically, so he asked me, "Are you tired? Are you worn out?" Heck yeah, I'm tired of worn out of being in the house. But he's basically saying, I am in control. So you have to worry about your present. You got to worry about your now and let me figure out your future. And you have to have faith in knowing that God will get you to your next place in life after all of this is done. Like, I think now I'm telling myself that this is just a stepping stone in where God has placed me and wants me to be. So in order for me to get to my next purpose in life and my next destiny in life, I have to now tap into the God that I serve and understand that he is in control, and I can't control anything, but I know that I can control my faith, and I can control how I love on my God, how I pray on my God, how I understand the capacity of my God. So I think the biggest thing now I'm telling myself, because it is Friday, I've had a whole week to ponder about my emotions, about how I feel. And you know what? I'm saying I'm giving everything to my God at this point. Because honestly, we don't know when we're going to be out. That's just the sad truth. So I'm saying to myself that I have to continue to stay motivated to continue to learn God. I have to continue to want to chase after God. And even if I do grow tired, God didn't grow tired of me throughout my mess. So I can't grow tired of God when I'm tired of being in this house. So I think the biggest lesson that I want you all to gravitate from this message is that God is in control. He is the one that is going to have the power to get us from this dark place. But as we continue to grow in this dark place, we have to understand that there is light at the end of the tunnel. God is not through with us yet. And I'm telling you, young people, we are young. Like, we're young grown people, but we have to continue to press beyond the mark. Even when it gets hard, we have to continue to press beyond the mark, because things are not going to get any easier. And with this virus going on, it just puts in perspective how life can really switch up in the blink of an eye, and all you can do is rely on God in the time of need. And not even in the time of need, you can thank him for the little things, for the medium-sized things, for the big things. Like, that's how God really operates. He wants to see how your faith is going to work when you hit a bumpy road. He wants to see how you're going to be able to maneuver a situation once it gets hard. How are you going to rely on him? Are you still going to praise God throughout the storm, or are you going to fold and be, say, I'm done, I'm over it? You can't be like that. Like, as a Christian, you have to stand firm in God, and you have to continue to tell your sister, continue to tell your neighbor, continue to tell your grandmother that this is not the end. This is only the beginning. God, every setback is a setup for your comeback. So you have to remember that God is God and he is in control, and you can't worry about the future, but you can worry about your now. So in your now, you need to continue to thank God in your now. You still need to thank God for waking you up this morning, because some people didn't wake up. It's some people that got the virus and they not able to operate the way that we operate, and we take little things for granted. So it just goes to show how much you have to continue to be in your word and be able to understand that things can be so much worse, but you have to thank God throughout the storm. Like right now, this is a storm, y'all. Like, and it's spiritual warfare, and it's heavy. And as you see, things are just not getting any easier. So as we look, as we look at the news and we look at what's going on in our world, we just have to continue to thank God. Like, if things can just be so worse, but continue to thank God. But a closing verse that I wanted to close out with before I leave you all is Hebrews 10 verses 36. Patient endurance is what we need now, so that you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. I'm going to read that again. Patient endurance. That's what we need to be underlining. Patient endurance is what we need now, so that you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. Now, God has already promised us new life once we leave this earth. but we have so many other things to accomplish before we get to that moment. God has promised us so many things that we can't even imagine, but we just have to continue to put our faith in him. We have to continue to understand that God is a good God, and he's a giving God, and he's a patient God, but we have to have patience with God to be able to get through, So I think that's really my message. This message is for myself, and I hope it's for one of you all, because I know that this right now is a very trying time, and we're still trying to figure out self. Because I know I'm 22 years old, and I'm still trying to figure out life, and I know it's still trying for you all, because you all are still young adults. So I want you all to know that you are not alone in this. If you need anyone to talk to, if you need somebody to, you need to bounce some ideas off of, the head, and figure out what's going on and how can I be able to go through this. But, because I don't want you to feel alone. I want you to know that I'm here for you. I want you all to know that I want you all to grow, and I want us to stand firm as the church, and I want us just to continue to walk in our purpose and just do what God has called us to do. But I know you can't do it by yourself. But that's it for me. I appreciate you all joining this call, and I want you all to have a wonderful and blessed weekend. I'm on the set. Y'all have a blessed one. I love y'all so much. You all are amazing, and I'm excited about y'all future. And remember, Hebrews 10 verses 36, patient endurance will guarantee God's promises. And that's on that.